Winding 7.6 miles and climbing over 4,600 feet up the slopes of Mount Washington is the Mount Washington Auto Road. Through trees, rocks, and turns hugging sheer drop-offs, this is the oldest auto race in the United States, first run in 1904. Fear takes a backseat and adrenaline takes the wheel as drivers try to best themselves as well as their competitors. Today we meet Al Grabau, an independent driver with far less time in the driver's seat than the top teams in the world. Racing a 20-year-old car with crew comprised of friends and family, can he do it? Can the underdog reach the top step?
That truck owes me nothing. It's a $1,000 truck. It's lasted like a year, and it's towed all this crap. It's smoking like crazy. You can see it burning oil. It's warm. You have to like doctor it until Ron's can fix it tonight. So it gets to like 100. That's it. So ignition, fuel pump. Sorry. I've found that from racing that like whatever it is you're doing, I mean, you're running or cycling, driving, that I've found about myself that I like to go all the way. And that's usually like, so maybe it's not that great, right? Maybe I'm a decent amateur and that's it. But I like to go as far as I can. It gives you a really good idea about what hard work is. All the things that we like to do put everything else in perspective. Like if you just went to work for 40, 50 hours a week and you came home and you watched TV, like work could never be so hard that you'd be tired. Unless you were digging ditches. All right, so like this teaches you that, yeah, work is pretty easy. Life is generally pretty easy. And it's all the other things that we do that make it challenging.
This is probably one of the most prepared he's ever been, and the car's pretty reliable now. So really all it was we spent time making sure everything was right in the dyno and getting that dialed in, and he kind of had a checklist of what he needed to do, and most of it was cooling related with the car. And he got that done, and he basically ran a short track day at New Hampshire, half a day. And then car sat back in the garage and made sure the dog stickers were on the windows and new wheels and tires, and then came here and ran it.
This is a Mitsubishi. It's a Lancer Evolution 2. It's made in 1994. I bought it completely stock. Over the years, I've been able to harvest a lot of parts from like ex-factory efforts. The gearbox, for example, in this car is from a works car. A lot of the engine bay stuff is from that also. The block is from a different car. It's from a Galant VR4. So it's sort of a hodgepodge of parts, and some are updated from newer Evos, and you sort of make them fit. Some are custom. I mean, a car can reflect the soul of the person who built it. Right now we're entering day 2 of practice. It's Saturday morning. Yesterday we got to practice the top half of the mountain. They split the run in two to maximize the time. Today we're practicing the bottom half. We'll start right over here, just as we will on Sunday for the race day. The start today is flat, which is nice. Yesterday we started on a really steep hill and just kind of rolled off. Today we'll test the launch control. We'll test the anti-lag again. And we'll run the bottom of the hill at speed for the first time. Hillclimb's really violent. It's not like you're at the track like carving a turn. You're just nailing every apex. Mount Washington's really bumpy, and you're like trying not to saw too hard at the wheel, trying to keep the car calm and smooth. So there's never a moment of like, this is really smooth and everything's going great. But you can get these small satisfactions as you're driving up the hill of like, all right, I just nailed that. I carried as much speed through that turn as I could. My goal of getting on the podium, as long as everything stays together with the car and I don't crash, is attainable. I'm in third in my class right now. I want to be higher up overall. I looked at the splits last night. Higgins and Pastrana are probably untouchable. It would be unrealistic to think that I could catch them, but everybody else is within a few seconds. You're saying times. I'd love to find out what my time was, because that might dictate also if I run again.
Maybe very quick time on the lower half of the floor.
What? It could break. Yeah. If I just finish, I'm going to get on the podium. Dead means out. I mean, I want to finish high and do well. Like, forget the clock.
How did it feel? How'd the road feel?
Great. I don't know if I'm going to be a lot faster. That's the other thing.
What if you just did it at like 50%?
Is it worth it to do that? Put the car through all the time?
I mean, honestly, you just don't want to. Roll off the line. That's probably half the beating on the motor and drive line.
No, I mean, it's rough. The road is really rough.
Let me check the
The
tires.
suspension's perfect. The tire. Do you remember what we put in that?
Yep.
I want to just do that tomorrow. Typically, before each run, we'd always want to check the steering components and the wheels, just the critical safety items on the car to make sure nothing's going to fall out. And you need someone you trust your life to do that, and also not to like double tighten everything. They have to have like a precise touch and know what they're doing. And Mike is that guy every time. I was sort of vacillating between trying to save the car, and you get to this point where you think you've got it under control and you're confident, but you really don't. You need someone there to say, no, you need to go back out. Like, the car will be fine. It's that mechanic/driver problem again. You need someone to sort of to tilt the balance beam the other way sometimes and make you do things that you're not comfortable with. The 2 times I drove the car before this event, one, I backed it off the dyno when we tuned it. I drove it around the parking lot and up this really short street and back at the place where we tuned it. And I shifted from 5th to 2nd and over-revved it in like 2 minutes in the car because I hadn't driven it in so long, and then shifting with the other hand. And then at New Hampshire, I did a practice day a few weeks later, and I was just recovering from the embarrassment of doing that. It didn't damage the engine. It was like real quick. But I was like, I'm going to race up a mountain and shift 100 times in 8 minutes or whatever, and I can't even get one shift right in the parking lot. I went to New Hampshire, and in the morning, on the outlap, I spun the car in the bowl, just like that. And at the time, I didn't know why. I later found out why it spun, but at the time, I was like, this is going to be really hard. And this is also going to be really dangerous because now I've had 2 weird things happen, and maybe I'm a lot rustier than I thought. This is a chance to do something really unique. I mean, this event is really old. It's the first auto race in the US. I mean, that's pretty cool to me. It's different than a lot of the other hill climbs in New England. Mount Washington is a lot scarier, and it's not just me that thinks that. A lot of the competitors that do the New England series don't want to do Mount Washington. It's about 9 o'clock, I think. and I went out on a bike ride earlier to try to clear my head and think about why I had this oil leak. At first I didn't really pay much mind to it because there's a lot of other stuff going on, but it started to bother me. There's a lot of oil splashing around the timing belt area, and it's splashing onto the hood. It's making a big mess. It's not a lot of oil loss. I haven't added oil all weekend. The oil level's still good, but the way it's coming out of the engine, it's spraying everywhere and it's annoying. So Carl and I thought we would take off the lower timing belt cover and hope that we could see something obvious, maybe a fastener holding the oil pump cover on, or maybe we would see a damaged seal. We didn't see anything. We did a nut and bolt check. It did give us the opportunity to clean very well under there, so everything's clean, at least for tomorrow's first run. We're not going to run the car again to try to look where the leak's coming from. We don't think it's productive because we don't have anything to fix it at this late hour. I do have a lot of spare seals, but to do a front main seal, you have to take the timing belt off and then take a lot of other stuff off. It's kind of a risky procedure at this point. The night before the event, I think I'd be better off getting sleep and resting, dicking around with it.
The sun rises on the final day here at Mount Washington. Optimal weather conditions are forecasted. It couldn't be a more perfect day for the climb to the clouds. Spectators begin an early trek up the rock pile to claim the best vantage point while race crews and drivers make final preparations. Just 2 remaining race runs to see who is the fastest.
If 2 works, I'll stick with 2. If not, I'll jump into the next one.
The result matters most to me. But I know the result is also from doing all the stuff before. Fastest part is right after the start. You go up and you go left, past the spectators, you hook a small right, and then it's just open and it's wide. The bottom part was by far the most confusing part. 1.5 miles, 2 miles in, you're coming off the high-speed straight and you just start to enter these left-right twists and you're completely surrounded with trees. The road's narrow. You have no real reference as to where down is or where up is. Everything after mile 1.5 to before signal 4 to the straightaway. After that, I knew I can do it all in my head after that. The speed trap was on a pretty long straight. They call it a straight, but there's a couple little kinks on it. And you brake super hard going into a bridge. And the bridge has these like buttresses on each side that if you hit, you swear the car is just gonna get cut in half. If things are going right, I'm just thinking about driving. Even comparing it to a bike race, you're never so focused in your life about something, and it's awesome. You finish the day and you're like, I didn't think about tragedy or anything going on in the world at all for 10 minutes today, period. Before Signal Corps, there's like a hairpin left with the triangle, which is like a warning to not go off. I think it's an exclamation point or something. But they're like, that's a cliff, and you're coming as hard as you can. I don't remember how fast, I don't have a speedometer in the car, but it's probably 80 miles an hour. And you're braking, and you're trying to get all your braking done before you turn in for the hairpin. But if something screws up and you're braking, and you're trying to brake as late as possible, of course, you're just gonna go right off the end and like off. See you later. You know how dirt gets when all the rocks get swept off and it's super hard packed and shiny? That's how it was in 2014. You could just call. People were really scared about it, and I kind of hoped it would be like that this time. But this time, I had tires that were probably even a little better on the dirt, and the car was all over the place, and it freaked me out. And I just said, like, I'm losing all my time here. I'm losing so much time. You could see the experience that Travis and David had on that. They just flew, and they were super confident. They got the car to turn in because they were on the gas and not on, not kind of coasting along. That's the one part of the hill where I know I lost a lot of time. The ribbon of road that kind of just went along the crest of the hill, like the side of the hill. I love that part. When I get off the dirt and you do a couple small turns and you get to that straight, like, I'm just gonna let it eat, like let the car, let it go, get on it, get on the boost. I felt confident there, and part of that was just, I know the limit on tarmac, but I don't on dirt. So it was kind of refreshing to get back on tarmac and then get back on tarmac in a spot that you can like go all out.
Completing the final few turns, Al pushing the Pleasure Evo to its limits. Ripping through the cow pasture, making the final climb to the finish line. The second run was, I think, better. There's a chance that I overdrove the car a little bit and like was a little too aggressive. Sometimes you try to go really hard and you end up going slower because you're not smooth, but I know I was faster on the gravel this time. The car was walking around a lot more, so I know I was faster through a couple other places. I shifted without the clutch the whole time, and one
One shift that I did, it didn't go into third gear all the way, so I know I made like one shifting mistake. It probably cost me a second, half a second. And the launch wasn't quite as good this time. We've been changing it all weekend, and it's different every time. So I think it was faster. I think the run was faster. We'll just see where I end up now. I mean, I made it. The car's in one piece.
In second place, with a time of 6:49.53 in a Mitsubishi Lancer Evo, Alexander Grabau. And in first place, with a record-setting time of 5:44.72, Travis Pastrana.
For 2020 is the next event. I'm definitely going to be there. I estimate that there's 30 seconds left in the car without any other changes, just doing brakes and suspension. That doesn't put me in the top spot on the podium by any means, but it's getting closer to being competitive. And so my goal for this time was to get on the podium. My goal for next time is to compete. I want to I don't think I'm going to win with those guys, but I want to make them a little more nervous. So we'll see.
The Pleasure Evo got its name because it never ran right, and one of their friends said basically it's the most displeasurable car in the world.
This event gets me pumped up about cars, and I'm usually not that pumped up about cars anymore.